everybody. So listen, have you ever heard the song that says, "You talk too much"? Well, that's exactly what's going on with Fani and Letitia. After the break, we're going to talk about it. Well, after the intro. Mm, mm, mm. Give me a second while I change this thing. I mean, when I tell you, some people just talk way too much. Way too much. Let me make sure I spelled everything right. Hey, you guys. All right, let me save that. Oh my goodness. And it's scrolling. Hey, I know I haven't been here in a while. And so much, once again, so much is dropping. I can't even keep up with all this stuff. But today, I want to do a continuation of our discussion when we were talking about former President Trump. Remember, I left you last to see what was going to happen with that $454 million. Okay. And so now we know. Okay. Now we know that they went to court. And what happened? They reduced it to $175 million. And he has 10 days, which I think will put him right at April 4th that it's due. So I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to be fine. I actually thought, I said that 454 million. I was like, good Lord. I mean, what were they trying to do? And I'm going to tell you, and again, we're going to play these sides here. Some like Trump, some hate Trump. Nope. I'm for what's right. I'm for truth. And I'm for everybody getting their opportunity to get a fair hearing, right? That's what this is about. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your color skin is. Everybody is due process of the law, right? And so we just see so much of this side thing, and I'm for this side, I'm for this side, and we gotta chill with that. Y'all know $454 million was a little outrageous. Come on now. Okay. I mean, even if you hate Trump, $454 million was just a little bit outrageous. So he did get his day in court. He was victorious. And again, 175 million, and he has 10 days to get it in. And let's see. Hey, Todd. How you doing? My sweet Dr. Sherry. Oh, congrats on becoming the new YouTube sensation. Waiting on the next episode of As the Peach Turns. I am loving that. You know, that's going to be a little catchy now. That's going to be a little catchy. And yes, thank you so much, you guys. I monetized my channel. Yay! Guys, I did it in less than 4 weeks. So I'm going to actually do a live telling and showing you guys the steps that I took to try to really get myself together and coming back to YouTube. I told you I had sent some stuff over here a few years ago, but I didn't do anything with it. So I got myself together and I said, next time I launch out, I'm going to do it right. But anyway, let's get back to our little juicy news because there's still some juicy stuff. So let me stick with Letitia for a minute. Y'all, and don't you find that this is what happens with people? Right when they get in a position that they are able to stabilize themselves, they're able to move out with the plan that they had put together for themselves. So what am I saying? Letitia James, to me, it felt like she had a plan, right, that she put forth to try former President Donald Trump. She was implementing the plan. She got her, she won her first hearing with him. Again, we just talked about that 454 was sliced to 175. Okay. But to me, I can't stand when people get cocky. I don't, I can't stand it. I told you, I'm not doing this Republican, Democrat. I'm not doing the black, white. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I cannot stand when people get cocky. I can't stand it. Because the thing about it is that we are all adults here. We should be acting as if we're adults. And I am quite offended on her remarks. Quite offended. So you guys know I'm in real estate. You know, I'm a real estate broker. I have my own real estate school. Let me go ahead and put that out here. But I'm going to tell you why I need to put, I put Todd's comment up again. Let me go back and get my banner. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to put up here about the real estate school, because this shows you that I know my stuff when it comes to real estate. I have a real estate school. I'm a real estate instructor. I have to teach this. So Miss Letitia James decides that she is going to make some very, very damaging statements. And when I heard about this, I started cringing because I'm like, are you stupid? I teach this stuff. Do you hear me? I teach it. And you went to a rally and you actually made the statement, we don't need any more pale, male, or stale. And then on top of that, you began to tell, I don't know, you didn't, let me step back because I'm getting excited, I'm getting mad. So she didn't say for the crowd to repeat it. So I'm going to give her that. But her actions kind of insinuated, okay? It wasn't explicit, but she kind of implied for them to repeat. Y'all got me sweating on my nose. I'm telling you, because I'm angry about this, because I teach this stuff. And I'm about to teach you in a second, but I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. She didn't tell them to say it, but she implied that she wanted them to repeat it because she kept saying it over and over and over again. Pale, male, and stale. I don't like that. Because first of all, she broke the law. Now, some of the news reports that you're hearing, they're wrong. They're quoting the wrong law. Y'all got to give me a fist bump on that because I'm about to shut them down. First of all, let's go back to the Civil Rights Act of 1866. That's where it all began, right? That act right there is simply on race. Race, race, race. Okay? That's it. Race, race, race. Hey, Monique's beauty. Life over 55. I know that's right. All right. She's a Trumper 2024. All right. I know we're probably going to get a Biden on here. I told you I'm not going to do the, I'm not going to do the back and forth. I'm trying to let my spirit feel who's the right person for us. Okay. And I don't know yet because I'm watching all this real closely. I'm watching it. But I am going to call out when I feel as though somebody's being mistreated. Okay? I'm going to call it out when I feel someone's being mistreated, because if we're going to play, we're going to play fair. That's my thing. We're going to play fair. Okay? So when she kept saying it, pale, male, and stale, we have to go back to the Civil Rights Act of 1866. That's all about race. Race. That law is still on the books today. The Civil Rights Act of 1866, you can sue somebody if you feel as though you're being discriminated against due to your race. So when she said pale, male, and stale, the word pale, that word right there symbolizes someone who's very, very light or white. Now, let me explain to you how we break this down in real estate to make sure our students get this. There are 7 protected classes, 7. And so how we teach our students to remember this is by the acronym FRESH CORN. So let me type this in so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And what we do is we do not, can y'all see that? Okay, let me post it. And let me move the school down. Hold a second. Let me get rid of the school. Y'all got my school, right? Okay. Oh, I put it back up there. I had already taken it down. Okay, so let me go back and put the comment back. There we go. Okay. Fresh corn. We don't use the vowels. Each one of those letters, that acronym is for all of the 7 protected classes. So F is familial status, R is race, okay? S is sex, H is handicap. Now, let me talk about the word handicap. We don't use that word anymore because it is discriminatory. So when we're teaching our real estate students this, we are very mindful that we really supposed to use the word disability, but this is just a memory tool for them, okay? C is color. So let me talk about that C for, well, let me finish them. C is color, R is religion, and N is national origin. So when we're talking about this word, these statements that Letitia James stated at a rally, pale, male, and stale. When she said pale, that's a discriminatory word because it's actually, you could be talking about race, and as far as I'm concerned, you could be talking about somebody's color. When we say color, what we're talking about in the Black community, we have light skin, black, black, a darker skin, light skin, dark skin. And sometimes there's a discrimination between the color of someone's skin. All right. So that's what took place here. Discrimination when she said that. And then the S is for sex. She discriminated when she said pale, male, and stale. He can sue her. He can sue her. Period. Point blank. That's why I'm telling you guys, we got to be careful that we don't get too cocky, right? And this is even in our everyday lives. We can't get to a state that when we feel as though we're winning, okay, because she may have felt as though she had a leg up on him with the 454, right? But we can't get to a point that we get too comfortable. That's why if we're doing everything fairly, we won't ever get into that space. We won't even go into a space of cockiness. I'm very disappointed in her. I'm like extremely disappointed in her with that. And it's heart-wrenching to know that we got a leader of that esteem. Well, I don't want to say esteem, of that level, okay, a state attorney general for New York behaving like this. So again, fresh corn is not covered under 1964 Civil Rights Act. The 1964 Civil Rights Act only dealt with public accommodations to government facilities. It was 1968, which we also know it's called fair housing, okay, that covered the fresh corn, the 7 protected classes. And then in 1988, it was amended, okay, to bring in the gender identity and it was one more I can't remember. Oh, familiar status. That was brought in 1988. But I'm saying all that to say this. I'm disappointed in her behavior. I'm disappointed with what she said. I'm disappointed on how she said it. I'm disappointed in inciting a rally. That's what it appeared when you're getting people to commit the same crime that you just committed. It's heartless and it's mindless to me. And so some of you might be asking, well, how can she bring in a Civil Rights Act of 1866, 1968, the fair housing? Because remember, we're dealing with real estate, right? We're dealing with his buildings, the taking of his property. So that's how these laws fall into this space now. They just literally drop right into space because that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the taking of his property, his buildings, his real estate. So again, we got to think. We have to think. She was extremely mindless in that space. So now let's go and talk about Miss Fani. All right, you guys, let's talk about Miss Fani. Miss Fani was at an Easter egg hunt on Saturday with the little children. Okay, there was who sponsored this was a group called Wave, and it's a cop group, police officer group. Okay, that pretty much helps underprivileged children. So Miss Fani decided that she was going to show up and show her support. Now y'all know that we got an election coming up May 21st. Well, not me. I don't live in Fulton County, so I live in the outskirts. So anyway, there's an election coming up May 21st, and I'm going to vote, but I can't vote in Fulton. I have to vote in another county. But she has two other challengers. We know one to be Democrat and the other one is a Republican challenger. So the Democrat, she's going against the Democrat on for May 21st, and I think it's November that they will, is it June? I can't remember if it's June or November that she'll go up against the Republican. So I gotta figure that out, which one that is. But anyway, Fani was very sure of herself. I don't know what's going on with these women. That has clearly acted up, okay? But she was mighty sure of herself. So one of the newscasters here decided he was going to interview her, and he asked some very, very straightforward questions. And I just want you to hear some of her responses. So he had asked her about what she felt as though her greatest crime was, right? And Ty, you got me cracking up. So your laugh is contagious. You know, some people like my laugh and some people cannot stand it. I don't care. I got to be myself. But I hope you over there laughing too. But anyway, let's talk about what she said. So he asked her what she felt as though her, not greatest crime. He didn't ask. I forgot what the question was he asked. That's not what he asked, but her response to whatever the question was, I can't remember. She said, my greatest crime is I had a relationship with a man. I was like, what? You think that was the greatest crime? I would love to know what Mrs. Jocelyn Wade's response to that question would have been. What would Mrs. Jocelyn Wade's response to that question? What would it have been, right? I'm telling you, I can think of a few choice words. No, Fani, that's not your greatest crime. That's not it. You did a whole lot on that stand. It was a lot going on, okay? No, let's not forget now, you've messed around with somebody's husband. Okay, we're not going to forget that. We just can't have a lapse of memory. Okay, that was a serious situation going on there. Oh, this is what he asked her, because I got this response that he asked her, were you embarrassed about anything that took place? And she said, not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed at all. I haven't done anything. No, I have not done anything. And so he asked her about where they were in the case with former President Donald Trump, and she said that we've been writing briefs continuously. Okay, so she was saying that they've been writing the briefs, it's been nonstop, and she was saying even when Nathan was at her house, she said we were writing briefs, and I'm like, girl, now come on now, you taking this a little bit too far. Go back and run the interview. Y'all go back and run it. I was like, no, you and Nathan were at your house. Let me stop. I don't want to be condescending. I'm sure it was times that they were writing briefs, but I think they were doing other activities too. Okay, Tom said it's going to be Mrs. Wade who's going to bring her down. I believe that. Yep, I believe that. So, so she responds with, you know, that they have been writing the briefs, and you know, and that was nonstop. They have been, you know, making sure they've been preparing for the trial continuously, and then she continues and ends it with, the train is coming. Once again, we got a cocky. I'm about to say something. Okay, I'm not gonna say it, but we have somebody who's being cocky. And so, you know what? I actually watched a report, and they were actually speaking on the cockiness of Fani. And this was their response. And I can't remember what venue and what source I was looking at it on. But they stated that she's behaving like that because she has to show strength, right? She has to show that she's not broken, that she can do the job of the DA. And that, you know, I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to keep, no matter what happens. Don't know if I would have taken that kind of stance. Don't know. No, I told y'all what I would have done. I would have bailed out a long time ago. Go back. I can't remember what live I said that on, but I said a long time ago I would have sent an email. I would have apologized to everyone, and I would have been I would have had a one-way ticket to Dubai, not to return for a very, 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 very long time. Okay, a very, very, very long time. But she really felt as though that she did not. This was what she said. She said, I haven't done anything illegal. I haven't done anything illegal. So she's still trying to put out there, I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything illegal. If you want to say there's something I did, the only thing I'm going to admit to is having a relationship with the man. Not that it was somebody's husband. Not that y'all, we're doing all this at conferences and all kind of carrying on. Not that you all really didn't allude to anything until you were forced to. Terrence Bradley, okay? But just laying it all out there. So I'm disappointed in her response too. I don't know. I just feel like some things does not need to be said. And there's a way that she could have articulated the answer to those questions without having to take a posture of not being responsible. That bothers me. It still bothers me. It really does. It still bothers me. I feel like I'm still in shock of, what was happening with this from the time she hit that stand. My mouth was just, what did I just see? What did I just... I still in my mind, I cannot get past the point when she took them 3 packets of briefs and said, you lied in here, you lied in here, and you lied in here. And then she went back like that. I was like, good God. Oh, the emotions. Am I going to be able to sit through this? So, y'all, that's the update. Listen, give me a thumbs up if you can. Can y'all give me a thumbs up? Look, I'm about to say guns up. Thumbs up. Lord have mercy. Now, we don't want to say that. Give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to the channel, because when I go live, hit that notification bell so you will be informed, okay? And again, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for the support you have given to me, for me to have been able to monetize this account. Yay! All right, you guys, I love you so much. Until next time. Bye. And yes, I can sing a little bit. Bye.